Hey guys, Ultimate Deadpool here. I just found out that Nickelodeon or somebody is trying to reboot Ninja Turtles as a movie, which is great because I absolutely hated Michael Bay's version of the Turtles. I know there are a lot of you on YouTube who are going to disagree with me, and that's fine. You guys are entitled to your own opinions. So I've got my brother's phone. And I found this article off of Screen Rant, which is one of my favorite YouTube channels. Says TMNT movie rebate. Sorry. The TMNT movie reboot should learn from the forgotten 2003's TV show, which for those of you who don't know was a version that I grew up with as a kid. The fan favorite 2003's series could set an example for the new Ninja Turtles movie. Sadly, the show is almost impossible to find in its entirety these days because it came out almost 20 years ago, and it was the mid segment between 1987 to 2012. As Seth Rogen's upcoming Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie looks to avoid the mistakes of the previous films. I didn't make this up. This is all literally in the article. If it'll focus. So I mean, I'll put a link in the description if you guys want to read the article. But that's not me making it up. It literally says in the article, it looks to avoid the mistakes of the previous films. One past version could offer an excellent blueprint. The often forgotten TV show from 2003. The show, which ran for 7 seasons on Fox's now defunct Kids Block 4Kids, which is the broadcasting network that broadcasted that show back in 2003. It was the 4Kids, Fox 4Kids or Foxbox or whatever it was called. It is one of the most fan-celebrated iterations of the Ninja Turtles to date. Unfortunately, a few major factors have made the show largely forgotten and difficult to find. You can watch all 7 seasons on YouTube right now, and I'll put a link in the description below if you guys want to check that out. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was the second full animated series based off the comics by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. It was jointly produced by 4Kids and Eastman and Laird's own Mirage Studios from 2003 to 2010. The series took a slightly darker tone than the 1987's cartoon, holding more closely to the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic books, which makes sense because the 2003 show that I grew up with, in my opinion, is by far the best version of the show, simply because it was closer to the comic books than the 1987's version. Because let's be honest, the 1987's Ninja Turtles was made for one thing, and that was selling toys. The series, as the result was a stylistic, diverse, and compelling written show that appealed to both kids and older audiences, which is true for the 2012 show as well, but the 2012 show was more popular because there were more kids alive at that time than there were in 2003. It was much more variety, much more broader storylines and stuff like that. The only thing I really didn't like about the 2012 show was they gave April powers, and April and Casey were way too young. And the whole Donatello April O'Neil relationship thing was just super stupid to me. Other than that, the 2012 show, it's not bad. I mean, I could watch it and as a Ninja Turtle fan, but I can't enjoy it. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what I mean. While the animation and writing suffered in its last 2 spin-off style seasons, which was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Fast Forward, which only lasted a season, which is technically the 6th season to the original 5 2003 seasons, and then the last one was Back to the Sewers, which I actually kind of liked. I actually kind of liked Back to the Sewers spin-off show. It was supposed to go on for I think 3 seasons or 3 more seasons after that. But because they changed the animation style drastically, it didn't do so well. The first 5 complete seasons full arc, that's among the best in the franchise. This is all off the article. All discussed and shown in this article is reference to those 5 seasons. So the biggest thing that I think is kind of funny is, out of the entire Ninja Turtles franchise as a whole, the original 5 2003's seasons were by far the most memorable, if not the best, in the series. And this is all off the article. You guys can read the article yourself, read it along with me or whatever. But I think it's kind of fun, really kind of cool actually to think about that I grew up in the exact era that the Ninja Turtles really got off the ground and, you know, was at its highest point in writing and animation. Because when you look at Ninja Turtles today, you think of 2 things. You think of the 1987's version, along with the 1990s movie, and you also think the 2012's Nickelodeon version, which is fine. You know, that's perfectly fine. But you got to remember the 2003 show, because it was a much darker tone than what the other 2, especially the 2012 show, was. So I mean, you gotta remember the classic one, even though it's not really a classic, but it is technically a classic. So let's see. And then it goes on to how Michael Bay's movies were so bad. Blah 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 blah. The first 3 seasons of the 2003 were available to purchase and yada yada yada. Let's see. However, there were a lot of unique merits from the 2003 show, and the upcoming film, which would take a few cues from it. The film adaptation has been widely planned by fans and critics alike to reprise the success of the original live-action 1990s, and there are a few main reasons why the 2003's animated series shows some ways to avoid these problems, while also showcasing some of the important aspects of the Ninja Turtles that the franchise offers to ignore. One of those key things is Shredder as an Utrom and not a human being. For those of you who never watched the 2003's cartoon show, Shredder was not human. He was an alien inside a robot body, very similar to Krang in the 2012's show. That is where they got that idea, but Shredder in that show was still human. And that alone was a much darker twist, considering it shows how Shredder never died or never stayed dead. And also, some of the other relatable storylines in the 2003 show was mildly disregarded, like the Battle Nexus, the Triceraton, Zog, I couldn't think of his name for a second. He was mentioned in the 2012 show, but he wasn't as big of a character. Even then, in the 2003 show, he really wasn't that big of a character. But Bebop and Rocksteady were completely ignored in the 2003 show. There were a couple of characters that kind of looked like them, but they weren't ever specified as being them. And then the article continues on to why the 2003's Ninja Turtles TV show was so good. Coming off TMNT's roaring success in the 80s and 90s, the 2003 show faced the challenge of relaunching the franchise for a new era. The result was a show that was embraced on the comically bizarre world of the Ninja Turtles, while creating a distant feel from the indefinable 80s and 90s cowabunga energy of the earlier entries. What makes the series so good? A couple of things. For starters, it excels at every major area of cartoon writing. It is fun but not too goofy. Stellar voice cast with excellent chemistry. Storylines that worked on both episodic and long-term arcs, which means certain stories went on to go back to the beginning. It would go back to the beginning and it would just keep going back and it would connect everything together. That is great storytelling, because it basically says, hey, this is not just random shit thrown into a show. This is each individual thing has its own unique purpose and has a unique meaning. So let's see. Uh, and great animation style that became more striking and ambition over the course of the show. The fights are excellent, the music is fantastic, and the jokes consistently landed. So, which means they were, jokes that everybody could understand. Beyond the fundamentals of throughout the 2003 success, off the dedicated balance of this, delicate back. Blah, I can't read today. Basically, all the it just kind of says that the bizarre sci-fi pilots you could ask for was grounding all the consistent and compelling characters in the work, every single genre trope you could imagine. Magical time, lords, sorcerers, check invading dinosaur aliens, check how the transdimensional martial arts tournament, which was the Battle Nexus, check nanotech robots, that was the Fugitoid and the Utroms, secret government agency, Agent Bishop, Ancient Demons was the 5th season, and the final plot sees the Ninja Turtles transform into actual dragons to battle an ancient evil in the skies above New York City, and they're all at once somehow still manages to feel cohesive, which means everything, despite how bizarre it went out, it still made sense. So, let's see. That's basically it. I mean, there are a lot of reasons why the 2012s or the 2003's Ninja Turtles was such a big, powerful show. And unfortunately, yes, it has basically been forgotten in today's world, because when Nickelodeon got the rights to Ninja Turtles, they basically kind of retconned that entire storyline, but they kept taking from the 1987 show, which isn't bad, but they couldn't, as far as I know, they couldn't get an exact understanding to get the original character, or the original actors and character designs from Fox, even though it was all owned by Nickelodeon. So, anyway, if you guys like this video, let me know. Metalhead Fight Night is going to be coming out probably Saturday, which is basically a thing that I teased a little bit yesterday. A lot of you guys have been asking me to put Metalhead in more bizarre fight scenarios to make sure, or to see if he is truly unbeatable. And I already know a character that's probably going to whoop him. I will not say who it is. It's not Thanos, because he was not in the video yesterday. But there were tons of you guys who were asking me to do, Spider-Man, Metalhead versus his older self or younger self, yada yada yada. So, stay tuned for those videos coming out in a couple of weeks, or throughout the next few days. I realize I've been overusing Metalhead lately. Trust me, it's going to be worth it, because, there are a lot of characters and comic books and movies and TV shows like wrestling and everything else who get certain pushes to make them look better. And that is exactly what I'm doing with Metalhead now. I'm trying to get Metalhead a major push, so that way when I use him in later videos, everyone's like, okay, now we know what to expect when we see Metalhead. We don't just see this big guy who can take a pounding and not fall, and not basically not get killed. So I'm basically pushing Metalhead to be better than what he is and cooler than what he is. So anyway, if you guys like this video, I will put links to the original 2003's animated series, the entire 7 seasons of it, in the link below, as well as the link to that article that I just read for you guys. So if you guys want to check it out, verify, everything I said that was in the article actually is in the article. It'll be there so you guys can see. It's by Screen Rant, which is a popular YouTube channel with comic book fans alike. So I'm anxious to see what this Ninja Turtles remake has in store for us, because The Michael Bay movies were watchable, but they were not enjoyable. Let's just put it that way. I'm sure a lot of you guys like the Michael Bay movies. I like the Michael Bay Transformer films. That's about it. So, anyway, thank you guys again. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys are excited to see this new reboot as much as I am. So, peace out. You guys are awesome. Turtle Power. If you can't tell, I'm wearing the America Shell Yeah shirt. I actually need to replace it. It's not survived the washing machine, but anyway, I'll catch you guys later. Bye.